How have you stayed active from childhood to today?
How have I stayed active from childhood to today? Well, I would say that I started athletics at a very young age. Um, I began playing baseball, wiffle ball, basketball, and things like that with all the kids in the neighborhood, probably as young as the age of 4. I started wrestling when I was about 5 years of age. I also started baseball, Little League, um, both of which I did up until about ninth grade. Um, from fifth grade to my ninth grade year, I also was on the football team for my elementary, middle, and high school. So that kept me very active throughout those seasons. In the off season, I would do a lot of weight training and things of that nature. Um, and whenever I went away to college, I picked up intramural sports. I played intramural basketball, flag football. But one thing that really kept me active was connecting with a few friends and playing racquetball pretty extensively through college. Something that I picked up a little bit later in life after I got into the workforce. But throughout my time after graduation from from college, I would religiously lift weights and do cardiovascular exercise anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week for many years. As I started to get older and develop some injuries and things like that, I slowed down on my weightlifting and I got pretty much involved with racquetball again, something that I had put down for approximately 15 years. So I formed a league with a bunch of men in the Harrisburg area, and we played competitive racquetball for 5+ years up until the pandemic. At that point in time, it was basically outdoor sports were the only acceptable sports during the pandemic. So what I did was I picked up tennis. I did forget to mention that I played tennis for a few years in high school as well. So I've always had an affinity for racket sports. But I picked up tennis, and I noticed that many of the tennis courts, there were people playing pickleball over the pandemic, and that really started to pick up. And it was something that I picked up back in 2021, and I still play pretty consistent, up until today. That gets me the cardiovascular exercise that I need. Competitive sports, I would say that's the short of it. Competitive sports is what's kept me active from childhood to today.
What kinds of barriers have you seen in regards to physical wellness in your life?
Some of the barriers that I've seen to my physical wellness in life, when I first entered the workforce, I was able to do a lot of good activity because I played sports with kids in residential treatment programs. So I was pretty much the coordinator of athletic activities as a residential counselor. And but as I went into a more serious career path, I saw my job as something that was getting in the way of really being consistent with my workouts and my competitive sport playing. Another thing that's kind of really cut back on physical activity some things that I struggle with. I've always struggled with diet because I do like junk food, and that attributes to a little extra weight that I carry around on me. So that's definitely an ongoing issue that I've struggled with.
What are you passionate about, and how do these passions relate to your overall wellness?
Well, at this time, I'm pretty passionate about pickleball, I'd like to say. I'm passionate about outdoor activity, such as like hiking, starting to get into actually bird watching. I guess that makes me a little bit older right now, but while we're hiking, we're doing that. And I'm passionate about about staying healthy and expanding, the longevity of my life through physical activity. And my passion and competitiveness, I think, has really been the biggest thing, my biggest driving force to this point.
How do you see yourself being active over the next 30 years? Do you think that will be possible, and what resources will be available to you?
Man, I'm gonna have to come back to pickleball once again, like that. One of the biggest or fastest emerging sports in the United States, as well as the world, as I understand. It's a sport that anybody can play, any age, any fitness level, any skill level. It's a very easy game to learn how to play. It's a very hard game to master, but I think since it's a lower impact sport than, say, racquetball, tennis, football, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, which I've also done in the past, I'll be able to continue with that sport well into my 80s. I currently play pickleball with many people that are 60, 70, 80 years old, and they play at a very high level. And that's something that I think that I'm going to be able to achieve, as I grow within the sport. And who knows, maybe some other sport will come onto the scene, and I'll pick that up too. But as it stands right now, pickleball is that bridge, I think, between today's fitness and fitness for the next 30 years to come.
How could you improve your overall wellness?
Overall wellness, I believe I can improve my overall wellness by finding a better work-life balance. I know I dedicate 50 plus hours a week to my job. I've done that for nearly since the year 2000, so over 25 years now. I've been really focused on work, and that can be definitely a negative thing because it's taken away from family and friends. I think one way that I could improve my overall wellness is getting that work-life balance, touching base with more positive people that I have in my life, like friends, family, loved ones, and focusing more on things outside of my office, outside of the job that I do, and really connecting with the people that are around me. I think that's going to decrease the cortisol levels in my bloodstream and really make me happier and healthier in the years to come.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.